Chapter 1. The Outcast high above the dense emerald canopy of the Wildwood Forest, a lone eagle soared. His name was Stormwing, and he was unlike any other eagle in the sky. His left wing bore a scar from a battle long ago, a mark that made him different. Stormwing had once belonged to the proud Skyclaw Clan, a powerful tribe of eagles ruling the skies. But an accident during a storm left his wing slightly weaker, making him unfit for the clan's hunting traditions. The leader, Talonstrike, declared him a burden and cast him out. Now, he lived alone, surviving on scraps and outwitting smaller creatures for food. Yet deep inside, Stormwing longed to prove he was still strong, still capable of something greater. Chapter 2. The Shadow in the Sky. One evening, as the sky burned in hues of orange and crimson, Stormwing noticed something unusual. Massive shadow moving across the treetops. It was too large for a bird, yet too silent for a cloud. Curious, he followed it, staying high above. The shadow moved toward the heart of Wildwood, where no bird dared to go. Suddenly, the wind shifted, and a piercing screech echoed through the sky. Stormwing's feathers bristled. That was no ordinary sound, it was a cry of distress. With a powerful dive, he cut through the wind, heading straight for the sound. Chapter 3. The captive Stormwing reached a clearing, where he saw a horrifying sight. A golden eagle, young and frightened, was trapped in a hunter's net. Struggling desperately, her talons tore at the ropes, but it was no use. Stormwing knew the dangers of humans. The hunters would return soon, and if they found her, she would never fly free again. He hesitated. If he helped, he would put himself at risk. But then he saw the fear in her eyes, the same fear he had felt when his clan had abandoned him. With a deep breath, he swooped down. Using his sharp beak, he tore at the net, while the young eagle flapped desperately. After several tense moments, the rope snapped, and she was free. "I'm Skyla," she gasped. "Thank you. Fly, we have to go," Stormwing urged, and together they took to the sky. Chapter 4. The Warning. Back in the safety of a rocky ledge, Skyla caught her breath. "I was scouting when the hunters caught me," she explained. "But that's not the worst part. They aren't just trapping eagles, they're planning to burn the Wildwood." Stormwing's heart pounded. "Burn it? Why?" "They want to drive out all the animals so they can build their roads and houses," she said grimly. Stormwing knew what this meant. The Wildwood wasn't just home to eaglesit, was home to foxes, wolves, deer, and countless other creatures. If the fire spread, none would survive. "We have to stop them," Skyla said. Stormwing hesitated. He was just one eagle, an outcast. What could he do? Skyla looked at him firmly. "You didn't hesitate to save me. Now let's save them." Chapter 5. Rallying the Wildwood. As the moon rose, Stormwing and Skyla flew through the forest, warning every animal they met. The wise old owl, Bramble, hooted in agreement. The cunning fox, Rust, nodded thoughtfully. Even the great bear, Thorn, rumbled his approval. But they needed more than words. They needed a plan. "If we work together," Stormwing declared, "we can stop them before the fire starts." And so, under the cover of darkness, the animals of Wildwood prepared for the battle of their lives. Chapter 6. The Battle of Wildwood. At dawn, the hunters arrived with torches and axes, ready to clear the land. But as they raised their torches, Stormwing struck first. He dove at the leader, snatching his hat and sending it flying. The hunters swatted at the air, startled. Then, Rust and his foxes darted through the underbrush, stealing their bags of supplies. The deer stampeded, knocking over barrels of oil before they could be set alight. Above, Bramble and the other birds swooped down, pecking and clawing. The hunters, overwhelmed and panicked, stumbled back. Then, with a deafening roar, Thorn the bear emerged, standing tall and menacing. The hunters dropped their torches and fled, their plans in ruins. The Wildwood was safer now. Chapter 7. The Return of the Eagle. As the sun rose, the animals cheered, grateful for their victory. But Stormwing knew there was one last thing he had to do. He turned to Skyla. "I need to go back to the Skyclaw Clan." She nodded. "They need to know who you really are." Stormwing flew back to the great cliffs where the Skyclaw Clan ruled. Talonstrike watched him approach with narrowed eyes. "You dare return?" he scoffed. "I saved the Wildwood," Stormwing said firmly. "I may not be the strongest, but I am not weak. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves," the other eagles murmured. Skyla stepped forward. "He saved me too." Talonstrike hesitated. Then he bowed his head. "Perhaps we were wrong about you, Stormwing. You are braver than we ever knew." From that day on, Stormwing was no longer an outcast. He had earned his place not just among his own kind, but among all the creatures of the Wildwood. And when the wind howled through the cliffs, carrying his name, it was no longer a cry of exile, but one of honor. Stormwing had returned. Moral of the story: true strength isn't measured by power alone, but by courage, kindness, and the willingness to stand up for what is right. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.